I don't want to say they created my childhood, but it feels like I'm reliving it. And Larry, how do you describe this, my man?
This is like one of those like feel good places you can come into because they have toys that are from your generation. They have toys that are brand new. So like in between that, like you can just spend hours in here looking at all these toys, and then you find more that you want to buy, and you're like, oh, I didn't come in to buy more toys, but what the hell?
And how did you guys get started?
So I was volunteering at this other toy store, so I was selling T-shirts, and so you could either rent out the space, and I was going in there so much, he's like, hey, since you're coming in here so much, instead of paying rent, your volunteer will pay for it. So for me, it was just an opportunity to make more money. And then Ernesto came in, he see me working over there, he came in. And
Ernesto, what were you doing?
Yeah. I did the same thing, actually. So I rented out some space over there, and I sold my turtle collection. I collected Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
So I rented out 3 cases. I started selling my toys over there. But, it was more of an experience to me. I didn't really care about making the money. Mm-hmm. I seen Anthony hustling, and it was a good place to be at.
You just love toys.
I love toys, and I have my other job, but this was a getaway.
Oh no, for sure.
It wasn't work.
It's an escape, and like I said, you could spend so much time in here, and it's like I know some people like were able to keep a couple of their toys. Like I was able to keep some of my toys from my childhood, and I've always thought like, I wonder what they're worth. So it's nice to be able to come to a place and see if it's worth anything, or if like you maybe I should sell this.
Yeah, because I constantly hear people like, I got that. Oh, it's worth that much. Like like they're excited to see it on our shelf
for sure.
And then they come tell us, hey, I got that same thing.
And then
so you guys were working together at that spot, and then you were like, hey, you know what? We could do this on our own. Is that
no? So the original owner, COVID hit. Things weren't working out so good, and he wanted to shut it down. So Ernesto came to me. He's all, hey, we should just buy him out and do our own thing.
Yeah, and the story behind that is like the out the box logo was already created.
Yeah, it's a super dope logo.
A year before we even knew about that.
Oh,
store.
nice. Yeah, so it's such a great logo.
Yeah, we had an idea.
Wait, why would you create the logo?
Because
that's called putting the cart in front of the horse.
Oh, nice.
I was hitting yard sales
exactly.
and flea markets and thrift stores, and I was buying and reselling toys.
Right.
So I had the idea in the back of my head, like, hey, one day I want to start a toy store.
Right.
I had this idea in the back of my mind, but I wasn't sure how to execute it.
Right.
I didn't know how to do it until I walked over into the door at the other store, and I'm like, wait, they're doing what I had in my mind.
Nice.
And the thing about it is, it's just I took a risk.
Yeah.
It was a risk, like
for sure.
But it,
during COVID though, right?
Yeah, it was all during COVID.
It's all during COVID. So you come here. I guess I don't want to fast forward too much, but then you're like, let's do this. You guys say we can make it happen.
I'm like, I got the logo. I have the logo ready to go.
You came to 102nd
we
Washington.
Have the location ready to go.
And then how did you start having people come in that were like wanting to either sell their toys or get their toys on the shelves? Because the goal is, right, that you guys have shelf space that people could even rent out their toys and then sell their toys. How did you get these people to come in?
It was social media. Anthony showed me the whole social media end of it. And that was our key to growing the business originally. And once people take a step in our door, then they're hooked.
Yeah, it's a great experience because, like I was saying before, like it covers everybody. Like you can be any age and get lost in here forever.
Families could enjoy this store together.
For sure. I've already started buying stuff here. I was like, great. I was like, it's like just one of those things where every time I'm in here, I see something I didn't see last time I was here.
And so, Larry, you brought in your own toys because we were talking about how you guys actually like price toys and look at that. So Larry was like, "Hey, you know what? We're starting the Eyes of Dever podcast.
This is on loan from the Ulibarri Museum.
So it's not you're not selling it, right, Larry?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I am curious to see what a value.
So give it to those guys. What are you guys looking at in this situation?
By the way, it works.
Is that working?
That makes that good noise. Yeah, it's working.
That's the sound they had at the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as you can see, there is an official stormtrooper inside.
All right, so what are you guys looking at? Someone comes in, Larry comes into out the box. What are you guys looking at to kind of see the value?
Mainly just condition. As long as everything's working.
Yeah, make sure everything opens up right. Yeah. Make sure it has this little guy in there because.
Careful, fellas.
Yeah, he's the main.
That could be $20 alone. This could be $30. Together it's $50 without it.
Yeah.
So the real valuable stuff is obviously brand new in the box from back in the day.
Yep.
And that's where people get their top dollar.
Yep.
All right, so then and now you talked about Google Lens. You're gonna take a photo of that to really kind of see what's happening online.
If we can't find it, if we don't know what it is, if David don't know, what it is, and
David, it works with you. He's the guru.
Yeah,
the guru.
toys,
we
yeah.
Google Lens it. It tells us a little description of what it is. Then we take that information to eBay, and then we check out what it's sold for. Like the past 10 to 20 listings, we'll go through and see what it's.
Right, and then as time goes by, it gets more valuable because obviously people throw theirs away or there's less of them, and so
as time goes by, it's an increase in value.
Yep.
Do you ever see something that's not in the box that still brings in a pretty hefty price?
Godzilla figures sometimes.
Godzilla
Yeah, there's
figures-
plenty of items that hold their value
that's a good
outside
point,
of the
'cause
box.
Godzilla figures, they do hold their value pretty good. And I'm not personally into Godzilla, but there's a huge market for it,
Right.
And there's not a lot of stuff. Like
Right.
believe it or not, you can't really go to any store and find a Godzilla piece,
Right.
Especially like a toy or a statue or something like that.
Right.
Well, you're blown away when you walk in here, Larry. I knew that I'm from Denver needed to come in here and team up with these guys at Out the Box because it's 4,000 square feet of everything from your childhood, not just our childhood, but girls, people who are fans of action movies, horror movies, all of that stuff.
They have a Ken and Barbie section.
They have a Ken and Barbie section.
People come in here, they get so excited, they're talking, loud, and I love hearing that. Like,
Right. No, for sure. Because then you hear these little different sections. I hear when people get over here, they're like, "Oh, the little homies!"
Yeah.
And because all the little homies are in there. Are those collectible?
Those are really collectible.
Oh, really?
Yeah, those are really collectible.
We need to bring David, the toy guru. Are you like the Wikipedia of toys? Is that what goes down here?
I've been referred to as that, definitely. I know a few facts.
Is that just because you just are a toy lover, or like it just sticks with you? What makes that happen?
Definitely, it comes from being a latchkey kid for sure, growing up in the 90s and all that, and going home entertaining myself and just having my action figures, video games, and cartoons and movies,
Well, I'm excited for this because I'm from Denver and Out the Box. We're going to have David on here specifically to give the facts. And so I'm really excited just for this partnership to kind of geek out, but then also learn about my favorite toys and your favorite toys.
No, for sure. This is definitely the place you want to head to, like before you do your Christmas shopping, because they have stuff here that you can't find like at Target, toy section, stuff like that. So this would definitely cover the gambit for like, anybody that liked Star Wars toys to people that like the new Marvel toys.
Now, what are your guys' favorite toys? Let's wrap up here because we're going to do many episodes of here at Out the Box with I'm from Denver, and so and we're gonna have people come in talk about their favorite toys. But
we're gonna do a big slumber party here.
Right, we're gonna sleep
We're gonna put our
at the
sleeping
museum.
bags. Right, exactly.
Right. But I think it's important to have Ernesto and Anthony talk about their favorite toys, as these guys are the toy
kingpins.
So right here, I got
champions.
the WCW Monday Night Nitro microphone. When this came in, so somebody came in and sold us a lot, and this was inside the lot, and I had to grab it.
So would that actually hook to like was like a Mr. Microphone?
No, like you could sound like Goldberg or sound like Sting.
It plays their music. I
Yeah,
think,
yeah,
too. It
right,
plays that.
right,
Remember that
background
music?
music.
Right, the intro.
Yeah.
Yep.
And now, Ernesto, what's yours? Because here's the thing: it's important to preface this because the favorite toys of Anthony are at his house, or
Well, yeah.
Ernesto,
Yeah,
at
yeah,
Ernesto's house.
Yeah,
right
I found some on the shelf that I liked, and I love my pet monsters because
Those
they're
are sick.
they're retro. The color
Yeah.
the color combinations are awesome on these, and as a kid you would wrestle these. You'd beat the crap out of these things, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
But and most of them still held up over time, So that's one of my favorites. I'd be collecting those, and Anthony collects those as well. And then Funko Pop. So Funko Pop made
That's so sick.
a version, a
Yeah.
licensed version of the.
It's identical.
It's identical, and
Yeah.
it's pretty awesome. Besides, the hardest thing on these ones to find is the handcuffs.
Oh, really?
So they had handcuffs. And
It's always an accessory.
it's always the hardest part to find
Right.
is
Yep.
the handcuffs for these guys.
Well,
So
I'm excited for this. I'm from Denver. # I'm from Denver. Partnering up with Out the Box. Larry Ulibarri, you just are the
I'm
man.
a kid in a toy store.
Kid in a toy store, literally.
Tons of Star Wars stuff. Like I said, Marvel, DC, it's all covered here.
But we're just getting started. So if it's David giving us the facts about the toys, if it's Anthony coming up here and just kind of telling us about the business model, if it's Ernesto who has multiple businesses telling us how he was able to franchise off of this into multiple businesses and create what he has, we're going to be able to do a lot. And I'm excited for the partnership. I'm grateful for you guys.
Oh, yeah, no,
I'm
most
grateful to have
definitely.
Larry Ulibarri here. And I'm just excited for what's going to happen with Out the Box
Oh,
and
yeah.
# I'm
and
from
we've been
Denver.
talking about this for months.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
it just
man.
Months in the making,
finally-
months in the
finally
making.
happened,
Let's make it happen. And
yeah,
so
stop by the store. You can see where we do the show, and come by. And if we're doing the show, just say hey.
yeah, we're going to
exactly.
do it all
Just
the
tell us
time
what's
right
up.
here, 102nd in Washington, Out the Box, # I'm from Denver. Thank you guys. Come in here, check it out. Larry's right. It's that time of the year to go get the right
Yeah.
Christmas gifts.
It's
Yeah,
that
no, for
time.
sure.